Welcome back to Sandiva's Hot Topics. And tonight we're going to be talking about the Hells Angels and the rumors that are whirling around that they're on their way to Aurora, Colorado to confront a Venezuelan gang. Now, the good news is the Hells Angels, and along with a lot of other motorcycle clubs, are on the way to Colorado for the Four Corners rally, okay? There is a rally in Colorado going on right now, and that's where all the motorcycles are going, okay, guys? But it is not sure if the motorcycle gang Hells Angels is gonna pull up in Aurora, Colorado. People are speculating that this is all lies, this is all hype. There are no gangs taking over. There is nothing like that going over, but the media downplays a lot of things. And during this video, I'm going to break down what the mayor says, which was on the news. There is a problem that's going on in Aurora, Colorado that they're trying to cover up, but TikTok won't let them do it. So let's take a listen to this guy here talk about the Venezuelan gang and why they are there taking over this apartment complex. Y'all, let's take a listen.
And now, Lord issue. No. It doesn't matter what issue you want to say. Venezuelan prison gangs took over a 99 apartment unit complex, and instead of sending the money to the landlord, they were collecting the rent. And then it comes out that the city council actually says, well, that's not the only apartment complex. There are several that they have taken over in Aurora, and now they run it all. Now, and you're having broad daylight armed robberies of jewelry stores in Aurora and outside of Denver. Look, Denver's collapsing. Denver has 700,000 people live inside Denver metro area. 70,000 of that 700,000 are illegal aliens. And you think they're going to stay in? No, they're going to bleed out. They're bleeding out to Aurora right now. Where else are they going to go in the metro area?
Now, y'all heard what he had to say. Now, let's take a listen to what the mayor had to say and how the mayor tried to clean it up on this news broadcast. Take a listen.
What do you think? Because I don't live in Aurora, but I think to myself, holy cow, if I lived in Aurora, I'd be freaking out right now.
Well, it's, let me put it in context first. This concern that it's 3 apartment complexes, but that's not to minimize it at all. But we're, the 51st largest city in America. We're 400,000 in population, and so, but there are 3 apartment complexes that we believe in that where there is a concentration of Venezuelan migrants, and the criminality is unfortunately followed. So we have a task force with local, state, and our federal law enforcement partners working on it to root these criminals out and get them off the streets.
On what?
But it certainly concerns me. But it is in 3
you can't even lie right.
apartment complexes.
3.
Now, you and I talked about this issue of apartment complexes, migrant gangs. We talked about this at length last week, and I did ask you if you knew about armed people going around and intimidating people at these complexes, and you said you did know that this was happening to the apartment building owners, and to an extent that we knew it was happening to people who lived there. But my question is, when did you first see this video, and when did you know it was to the extent that we're seeing in this video?
Well, we've known. I think I put out a couple weeks ago that we had formed the task force. We knew at that time that we had formed the law enforcement task force to root them out, that there was intimidation going on, and part of that intimidation certainly involves individuals with weapons.
Mr. Mayor, why Aurora? I've got people from across the country sending me messages. What's going on in Aurora? Why are these gangs in Aurora? Do we know why they came here? Why they seem to be taking over some spots in our city?
So I'm trying to trace it back right now. I can tell you, some things that are unconfirmed that I believe are true. I think we know that these gang elements are attracted to concentrations of Venezuelan migrants. That's unfortunately, there's a lot of criminality in Venezuela. It's basically a failed state. The role of the police department there is to is to protect the government. It's not to protect the people. And so, unfortunately, some of these criminal elements have come up with the migrants. My understanding that Venezuela does not share criminal histories with the United States, and so it's very difficult to vet them at the border. Yet they've been allowed to come in anyway. People can cross the border illegally, be arrested, and then receive humanitarian parole. To apply, they've applied for political asylum until their cases can be adjudicated. It's a terrible combination where they come into the country. They don't have access to a work permit for 6 months. They don't have resources. I think what happened, and again, I'm trying to trace this back, is that what happened is we had, we had some buildings that unfortunately are pretty run down, have a high vacancy rate or relatively low rent. And I think somebody placed them there. Is it an agency of the federal government, perhaps, using some of our local nonprofit partners here as a conduit? Because the city of Aurora took a position early on that we were not going to participate in the migrant crisis. We were not going to provide taxpayer support, and we were not even going to be a conduit for federal dollars to come in to provide assistance. This is not our problem. This is a problem created by the federal government at the border with bad policy. And so it's the federal government that needs to solve this problem, not the city of Aurora. But somehow we've gotten this problem. We inherited this problem involuntarily. And so I'm trying to walk it back and say, I believe that these people just didn't go there on their own. I think somebody put them there, and I'm trying to find out right now. And I have a meeting with a leader really understands the nonprofit organizations that provide assistance, who provided this assistance, who made this decision to put them there. Mayor, I don't believe you surrender any part of this city to a criminal element, whether it's sections of Aurora to prostitution and drug dealing, or it's these criminal elements from this Venezuelan criminal elements that are preying upon their own people, but in doing so have taken over several apartment complexes. So if we have to, and I hope we don't, I hope we can move these people out without pushing everybody out of the entire apartment building. But I'll tell you, as somebody who was in counterinsurgency warfare in Iraq with the Marine Corps, you have an enemy population you have an enemy that is inside a population that is intimidated by them. And so the challenge is getting people to cooperate to identify them, or using film footage to identify them, get them out. So what I look forward to is updates from our police department and from our other law enforcement partners that are working on this to say what progress that we're making in these isolated areas, in these pockets, in terms of dealing with what I consider is an enemy force.
Everybody considers an enemy force. Mayor, you rambled on and on and on about the migrants taking over, the Venezuelan gang taking over, and you had no solution. You basically said, yes, they did take over. Yes, I need to find out who was the party that allowed these people to come into this rundown, condemned building so the Venezuelans can come in and take over. All that's irrelevant. Y'all need to start arresting and deporting people. These people got arsenal rifles, knocking people doors in, stealing, and y'all just got a word salad. You sound like Kamala Harris. Word salad after word salad, fruit salad, whatever kind of salad, chef salad. Come on, man, get it together. We the American people over here are going through it, and that's why the Hell's Angels is taking it upon themselves. I heard a TikToker say that they already have chapters in every state in America. The Hell's Angels have chapters in every state of America, and they said they was gonna pull up. So the rumors are true. Hell's Angels will pull up, but they're not gonna incite a riot. They're just gonna stand there, endure, and wish would. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all, it's going down. I'm gonna keep my eyes to the streets to see what's really going on in these with this Venezuelan migrant situation and what Hell's Angels is really gonna do. So I want y'all just to stay tuned. My name is Sandiva. This is Sandiva's Hot Topics. And I love you guys. I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, loves. Bye.